but we see a lot of satanic practices within the Roman Catholic Church, from pedophilia to
Well, it seems to be based on a lot of like non based on things that are not even what Christ said, or in fact things that are against what he said in some cases. Well, it seems to be based on a lot of like non based on things that are not even what Christ said, or in fact things that are against what he said in some cases. And it's a lot of traditions drawn out of other
pagan.
Yeah, you could say pagan, like polytheistic, you know what I mean,
Right.
cultures and stuff like that.
Okay, so first of all, are they completely wrong with the dates?
Well, you know what, like the way I keep Passover, because I do observe Passover, it's actually
Pasa.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's pretty close this year to Easter. Like I had people saying, "Oh, it's like Easter," but I was like, "No, it's not." Although it fell on a pretty close date.
Okay.
It still wasn't, on point. In fact, it's still technically the week of Passover now.
Okay, so my first question is, what is the modern, let's say, Roman Catholic Church and the false Christian church in entirety of today? What are they doing wrong for people that don't know what is going on at a time of Easter? Like you mentioned traditions that Christ would not support, let's say. Like can you get deeper into that a little bit?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to remember if I have any more detailed like notes on that Easter specifically. Let me see here. Yeah, I have a few interesting things I found. Let me do a screen share with you. Let me try anyway.
Listen, if you can't do a screen share, it's okay, man, because I don't want to tempt this whole Zoom thing, man.
Oh, you're right. Okay, yeah, it's too late though. Do you see my screen?
I see. Yeah.
Okay, so it says, I think these are like some references on Easter, right?
Okay.
Encyclopedia Britannica, World Book Volume 1, just naming them off here. Vine's Complete Expository Dictionary of Old and New Testament Words. And there's a book called History of the First Council of Nicaea.
Right.
You know about Nicaea, right?
Of course. Yeah, we talked about this with you a couple years ago.
Yeah, and I haven't actually like studied this in a while, so there may be things I don't know here or whatever, but I found this was very important. This first point here, it says, I think the best time, I think this is quoting Constantine or something, I think the best time for the Easter festival would have been the ancient honored day of the Jewish Passover. It was opposed merely by a whim of Constantine. Oops, sorry, one sec. I'm getting your screen. It's kind of bothering me here. 1 second. Sorry.
Oh, you don't wait. So should I move something? Okay, here we go. I think I'll move.
No, it's on my end. I'm just trying to get, like, I see a little video screen.
Right. I see the same thing. I know what you're saying. You can probably move it. There you go.
Yeah, it's okay. I got it figured out here. This will work. So it says, I think the best time for the Easter festival would have been the ancient honored day of the Jewish Passover. It was opposed merely by a whim of Constantine, because as a Roman he hated the nation which his country had long detested and persecuted, that is the Jews. although he was forced to admit that God had ever preferred them before all people. His change in the day of rest arose from the same prejudice. So, according to this source here, it's saying basically, from what I understand, to add on to that, from what I understand, the early followers of Christ were keeping Passover and whatnot as he was, right? And basically this Easter thing came into the picture when Constantine kind of co-opted the teachings of Christ and turned it into kind of this mishmash with Roman polytheism.
Right.
Do you kind of get, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I absolutely know what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, to me, that's kind of the basis of it. Like the root of it is this corrupt kind of genesis with Constantine and the Romans. So that's why I avoid it.
But I understand also that there are a lot of satanic rituals that go into the celebration and the practice of what we know today as Easter.
Yeah, I would agree. Okay. Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's good.
What was I saying?
Yeah, so about, the traditions and the rituals that they practice, they seem satanic. That specifically that the Roman Catholic Church practices at the time of Easter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree. You look at the other holidays, so-called holy days, that are kind of prevalent now, Christmas, Halloween, etc. You look at kind of the traditions that are like associated with those things, and I always find these connections. Like,
obviously, we see a lot of similar, well, not similarities, but we see a lot of satanic practices within the Roman Catholic Church. From pedophilia to from terrible things, man. So when did you kind of? Oh, by the way, this article, they are talking about the real Jews, correct?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, because this would be kind of before. Well, no, not necessarily. I think so. Let me just